What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me for a video. This is your host, Kobe Glenn. I appreciate you guys for being here. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with me, and I greatly appreciate it. Listen, we are officially a handful of days out from the 10X Growth Con 4 conference in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Mandalay Bay. I'm super excited for this conference. There are going to be a tremendous amount of people who are in attendance, and I love it. I can't wait to meet you all. We've been on Zoom calls, doing mentoring programs. We've been talking business since the beginning of January. You've been following me on Instagram. We've been talking about almost anything and everything you need to know to really get in the proper mindset to blow your business up this year. And I'm super excited, again, just to meet everyone there. A little bit about myself. I have been an entrepreneur for well over 10 years. I've done everything from own a landscaping company, which I do still own, to commercial financing, helping businesses find the financing needs for their business. I've recently created an ebook that shows businesses how to scale and grow their business using the big box store method. It's doing a wonderful amount of numbers in terms of sales. I'm getting a lot of great feedback from people who are utilizing the information and are really starting to see the beginning stages of growth happen in their business. So I'm really excited, and I hope to be able to reach more people and help them out moving forward. Okay. Quick little bit about the 10X Growth Con. If you haven't heard, the Growth Con is basically an entrepreneurial conference. A little bit of a who's who will be there. Past speakers have included Steve Harvey, Ty Lopez, Elena Cardone, Grant Cardone himself, Jesse Etzler, the individual who created Marquee Jets. He's a partial owner of the Atlanta Hawks, as I understand it, and a number of people. John Maxwell has attended. This year's speakers are going to be just on par, if not better. We've got Magic Johnson. We have got again, Grant Cardone speaking. We've got Elena Cardone speaking. We've got Kevin Hart. There's rumors that Rick Ross and Snoop Dogg will even be speaking a little bit. I know they're probably going to be performing to some scale or another. Honestly, can't wait. We've got Scooter Bronson, the manager for what's that guy's name? Justin Bieber. We've got a number of people who are going to be in the building, and I honestly cannot wait. I don't think I can say it enough. If you are on the fence of going to GrowthCon, I would highly suggest that you take a chance and bet on yourself. Make an investment in yourself. You see, I've got the 10X hat on. This is what this whole entire conference is all about: the scale and multiplication of growth in your business. Okay, I don't know if there is another conference that has been created that's going to have the utility that this one is scheduled to have. They've even gone as far as to say, hey, we hear the complaints that you guys had with GrowthCon 3. We've elected to do things a bit differently, and we really want to see how we can bring more value to you guys. So we're not going to be as pitchy. I was at GrowthCon 3, and I'll be honest with you, it was very pitchy. I felt that there were people who got up on stage and the number one goal was to sell products. There were a few people. John Maxwell comes to mind, Ty Lopez comes to mind, Steve Harvey comes to mind, where it felt like, to me, their main priority was to bring a tremendous amount of value. Grant Cardone, obviously he does that. That's what he does. But yeah, it did feel like some speakers got on stage with the number one goal to sell. And I get it. You're at an entrepreneurial conference. We're talking about sales. People want to try and ring the cash registers. I get it. I think the application, the ability, what this conference has the ability to accomplish is to be, for all intents and purposes, the homecoming of all things entrepreneurial. Okay. And I think if they do it right, this can be the number one entrepreneurial conference. I think if we go too far one side or the other and we start talking about how we can just make sales at this conference, it's going to open the door for another venture to step in and become the entrepreneurial conference to offer business owners of value that they're looking for. So they said this year, hey, we're going to focus more on application. I said, that's great. There's going to be an individual there who ran Donald Trump's campaigns, and you all know how that turned out, as he's our president now. What I'd like to see is the application of things. I'd like them to go in and talk in detail about setting up Facebook ads, running Facebook ads, things you need to make sure your Facebook ads have, things you need to make sure that, they don't have. Is this is old and we're moving away from it. I feel that now we live in a vacuum where every time you go on YouTube, there's somebody who you have never heard of that's trying to sell you a course that's probably does not contain 100% of the information needed in order for you to reach the goal that you're trying to reach. Everything is, hey, we'll bring them in with the price point down here and we'll scale it up to this huge $20,000 upsell in order for them to really be successful. I think that play is played out. I think we need to get to a point, especially in business, where our number one focus is offering people value and doing so in a manner where maybe we're not always asking for money, or maybe we're not always asking for, top dollar, whatever it is, but we're really trying to focus on growing the ecosystem of entrepreneurship. And I think then and only then, when we get to that point, will you start to see entrepreneurship, really thrive. And I mean more than it is now. Like right now, it's kind of cool. It's like this trendy thing. Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. Everybody's got the Lamborghinis in their videos. Listen, I'm old enough to remember that a Lamborghini was something special when you saw it. Now it's like they're everywhere, right? So I'd like us to move the paradigm towards really providing value and not just trying to get money. Because I think when you try and earn money for the short term, you do yourself a huge disservice in terms of growing your brand, building your following of people who look to you to kind of give them value and help them grow. And I think your lifespan of entrepreneur is probably cut short, is basically what I'm trying to say. You should be focused on providing value while monetizing your content, but at the same time making sure that, hey, this is great value that we're providing folks. So I think once you have that, we'll start to see this thing thrive. So again, I hope that's what they talk about at the Growth Con, is the application with a lot of things, ads, what you want to make sure you have, what you want to make sure you don't have. Maybe even go through a setup of setting up a Facebook ad and running it. And I have experience in that. I've done it for the ebook that I'm working on placing in the hands of at least 20,000 entrepreneurs in 2020. I've done it, in terms of running ads for the landscaping business that I have. So I am fairly versed in running Facebook ads. And if you guys want to see some information regarding that from my perspective, definitely leave me a comment in the comment section below, and I'll try and give you that value for free. I want this ecosystem of entrepreneurs to grow. All right. I just don't want there to be a few of us at the top here. So yeah, that's a little bit of my background. What else am I looking forward to at the Growth Con? I'm looking forward to just meeting people who are really having significant growth in their business. All right. I'm excited to meet the new people because I remember what it was like for me when I was new. Everything was, everything was green. It was so optimistic, right? So your eyes were big with anticipation, and you're brand new. You don't really quite know what to expect. And I'm excited to see that. I think seeing that will do us business owners, us entrepreneurs who have been in this space for a little while, some good to kind of remember what it was like when we were getting started. And if you are just getting started, document your journey. You've got to document your journey, because you're going to look back on this thing 10, 15, 20, 30 years, and you're going to say, I had no idea the places, when you do it right, you have no idea the places this thing can take you. It's taken me all around the world a few times, right? It's enabled me and my significant other to travel, okay? To see the world, to do things people who are in our age range don't really do a whole lot. It's enabled us to, I'm not driving a Lambo or anything like that. I'm not claiming to, but I am saying is it's afforded us certain luxuries. And it's important, especially when you're young, to kind of live those experiences. So you get a grasp of what's important, maybe what's not important, and it kind of increases your why, right? So document your journey. That's my number one advice. So I'm going to look forward to seeing a lot of the new people who are new. I also want to see the people who are just excited to be there. You know, the last time when I went to Growth Con 3, there was a guy there, and my significant other asked, and she said, "Hey, you know, is this your first time going?" And he said, "No, you know, I've been to one or two before. I don't really remember." And he said the reason why he goes back is because it's nice to have a little bit of a recharge. I'll be honest with you, I'm going this year to see if they are going to make good on their promise to do things differently. I've read a number of Grant's books. I've, purchased his programs, his seminars, the ones he does on like the Saturday afternoons or, the Saturday evenings. And I've used them and I put them into practice. And, for the most part, I can say they work if you work it. Like much of anything, it works if you work it. And, using Grant's material, it did help me land a job a couple years ago that kind of taught me some of what I know in terms of this commercial financing, like helping businesses find working capital. So it taught me a little bit. So if there's anyone that's kind of trying to navigate that route and you know that you need working capital to kind of grow your business or kind of, get things rolling, let me know. We can talk about it. I sat with the underwriters. I know what they're looking for. I spoke to thousands of businesses on the phone. I like to think I have an understanding of what kind of struggles or what kind of opportunities you guys are either chasing or what kind of struggles you guys are trying to overcome. So I'd like to work with you on that if I can and be of service to you. So I'm looking forward to seeing if they change the direction and go more with the application, less sales pitchy, and see what they can accomplish. I'll be honest with you. When I first went, give me a second. When I went in 2019 in beautiful downtown Miami at Marlins Stadium, all right, I tiptoed in. Here's some footage from the last Growth Con 3. Everybody's excited to be there. Yeah, they got the 10X flags, and these are the people who really spent the money on the impressive seats, the big dog seats, if you will. There's Grant behind the monitor, getting ready to come out. And like I said, I'll be honest with you, when I first went, I was, I tiptoed in. I had the general admission seats. Honestly, I think I got this one. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't even want to say what I paid for this. It was a ridiculous deal. The number that I paid for this, I committed first and I figured the rest out later because I knew if I was going to go to this thing for this price, it didn't make sense not to buy the ticket. I would figure the rest out later. I would figure out the hotel accommodations. I would figure out the flight arrangements. I would figure the rest out later. The price tag that this was at was crazy. I'm definitely going to take this one with me because you guys got to see where my seats are this year. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. Okay. Let's just say I skipped a few seating locations. All right. But business has been relatively good. The process that I'm trying to teach business owners, scaling your business using the big box store method, has enabled me to go from a general admission seat to, I won't say where I'm sitting, but you guys, you just tune in. I'll be streaming, I'll be getting content and footage and uploading it to the YouTube channel, but you guys have got to see where I'm sitting. It's crazy. And I'm excited to be sitting there because what I understand, the people who sit in this area, this is where the movers and shakers are. This is where the heavy hitters are. So if there's people there who, run businesses or looking for growth, I'm just excited to have those conversations to see what everyone's up to. But yeah, this is basically the badge that you needed to have, okay, in order to get in last year. And I thought they did a really nice job with this. And if you look on it, give me a second. There, I think you guys can see that a little bit better. Okay. But it basically says 10X Growth Con 3, the largest business conference on earth. And on the bottom it says 10X your business, 10X your income, 10X your life. Then your seat and assignment, general admission. There's some kind of security tag there on the back. I mean, they spend a decent amount of or money on these things. I mean, this is like really nice quality. So, you know, when I got it in the mail, or did I get it? No, I actually had to be there, and I needed to check in. And when I got it, you know, it's really nice quality. I mean, even the lanyard, okay, was really nice quality. I'd you know, probably put my keys on that at some point or another if I didn't like keeping a little profile with my keys and whatnot. So it's been a lot of money on it. When you get there, when I got there last year in Florida, it was beautiful. I mean, the 10 arrangements that they had was really, really nice to check in. I think everything was on touchscreen, iPads, very efficient. When I got there really wasn't too much of a wait, and I got there early. So if you're going to the one in Vegas, you definitely want to get there early, okay? Because you don't want to wait in line unless you've got VIP. Then it said that, you know, you don't have to wait in line. You can just walk right in, scan your badge, walk right in. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And again, this is last year's badge. I don't know what this year's badges are going to look like. I hope they're the same quality, if not better. I like the design. I like the graphics on this. It's got Grant's photo on there. There's some pretty cool graphic design there in the background. So yeah, they spent a little bit of money on it. And I think that was well worth. I look like a total 10x slap right now. Look at this. I got this hat in the background. This hat, you would have to have been with Grant for a very long time. You would have had to have been following him for a very long time to know anything about this. But I got my 10x hat on. This came in the box when I got my order. I got this badge on. I look like a total 10x slap. So, but I'm proud to. I mean, you know, the stuff works. It works if you work it. You know, everybody for the most part is great. Everybody in the mentoring program, everyone in the Facebook group is awesome. Cardone U, it does work. I use Cardone U to actually secure a couple business deals, and even again when I was working in commercial finance to land that job, right? To land that job that I was there for some time, and it works. You got to practice every day. You've got to run the modules. You've got to do the role playing. But Grant, he really does. He knows his stuff. I wouldn't tell anyone any different. I think if you're interested in growing, if you're interested in making more sales, you definitely have to pick up Cardone U. If you can't make it to Growth Con 4 in Las Vegas at the Mandalay Bay, I will say this. Give me just a second here. It doesn't say, but I've got it on pretty good authority that they're going to live stream it. So if you can't make the financial commitment to spend the money and be there, you can always live stream it. I'm not seeing where that option is here on the website, but trust me, I've got it under good authority that they are definitely going to live stream it. So for $797, here's what you got. You got general admission, which basically would have been this whole entire upper bowl here. And when I was at Marlins Stadium in Florida, I'll tell you the seating, it was okay. You know, they were, you know, the seats, they were all right. They were kind of comfy, but there really wasn't too many people here. And I think this is pretty much where the folks who are skeptical sat. And I get it. Sometimes you need to stick a pinky toe in the water, and sometimes you need to run before you actually can walk. And that was me last year. I was, you know, let me stick a pinky toe in. And I'm actually kind of happy I didn't come in and spend a huge investment to get down here to executive or VIP or diamond or premier, because I felt it was kind of sales pitchy, but there was virtually no networking going on up here. I felt like the people that I did talk to up here, they didn't really have the proper attitude, maybe the proper mindset. They were all kind of cynical, like I said, myself included. But when I got a chance to talk to the people who were in the executive bowl, everyone seemed to be a little bit more on board with the program, a little bit more optimistic. The VIPs, the diamonds, and the premier, they looked like they were having a great time, and the stage was pretty much like back here at Marlins Stadium Arena. Okay, so what I'm able to surmise is I feel like the closer you get to the fire, the more amped, the more excited people are about their business, the more excited people are to talk to other people, the more networking that everybody wants to do, the more rubbing elbows and so on and so forth. And I get it. You know, these are the people who have probably seen a tremendous amount of success using Grant's products and networking with people. These people here were kind of like, I don't really know. And you can go on YouTube and you can Just go look at the reviews. Ooh, sorry. Just go look at the reviews. Everyone who I said, who I saw don't go, they really weren't happy. They were sitting here. Everybody who was like, yep, this is great, I'd go again, they were sitting here. I was sitting here, and I said, you know what, I went last time. It was kind of salesy. They said they were going to change things this go around, so we'll see if they stick to their guns and they make good on their word. And they do. Now, if they don't, does that mean I'm not going to be a Grant Cardone supporter? No, not at all. It just means maybe his live events, these big live events just may not be for me, right? Because I'm a practitioner. I want to learn about the things that are going to make a difference. I want to learn the strategies. I don't need the hoorah, the yays. I don't need to be running up and down, these aisles doing backflips, throwing chickens and giving each other high fives. I need to learn about the strategy. So I'm using money as access to get into events like this to learn maybe some of the things that aren't really common knowledge right now, to get a leg up on the competition, or to be able to, again, use Facebook ads, reach more people, and put information that I've used to grow and scale my business that I know for 100% works in the hands of other business owners that could benefit from the same information. The 10X suites here, again, like at Marlins Stadium, these were, for people who are bringing their whole entire teams out, right? Now, the seats may not have been as good in terms of like the visibility, and I wonder if you would have been able to go down and kind of get a closer seat. I don't know, but I can tell you that, they got catering, the seats were way more comfortable, and they even had the private bathrooms. Now, what I will say is the bathrooms down here were probably gross, because this is where the majority of people were at. And I'll see if I can find some old footage and throw it in here for you guys. I'll say this though, in the upper bowls, a general admission, all these bathrooms were nice. They were super clean, and there was virtually no wait. This is where all the activity was happening. All the vendors with their sales booths was getting people set up on programs, and people were taking advantage of offers. They all had to get about their seats, go down to this little lower bowl here at Marlins Park, and these corridors were extremely clogged. Up here, it was virtually no one. Virtually no one. So if you need someone to be secluded, maybe general admission, at least the corridors behind general admission would be a good place to, visit for a little while. It's a little bit quieter up there. Maybe. I do know this, that the Mandalay Bay, this arena is a little smaller. Actually, it's a lot smaller than Marlins Park. Marlins Park is a baseball arena. This event center here at the Mandalay Bay, this is like where they do their boxing matches at in Vegas. So it's a little smaller. I think this one's only going to hold about 11,000 people. Marlins Park last year held about 30,000. Although I don't agree that all 100% tickets were sold. Again, just looking at the footage, there were a lot of empty seats, especially like up here, but there were a few empty seats down here. I think over time people migrated down from general admission to executive. So as the event progressed, day 2, day 3, like these seats got more filled, but there were virtually no seats up here, and they said they were 100% sold out. So I don't know. So I see that they're saying that they're oversold in executive, diamond, and premier. Obviously when video surfaces at Growth Con 4, you guys will be able to see just how many empty seats they have, but don't focus on that. You want to focus on the information. You want to focus on the content. You want to focus on what's being done, not really what's being said. So Grant always talks about, to a certain extent, pushing forward, never retracting, always increase the activity, never going smaller on your goals. But last year they were in Marlins Park, and this year they're actually in a smaller venue, probably because the event last year was not 100% sold out. And I know that was a huge financial commitment for Grant. I don't even want to say Grant and his team. It was just Grant. I'm pretty sure he's the one that stroked the check for that bill. So I know it was a huge financial commitment for Grant, and maybe they didn't see the turnout that they were looking for, so they elected to kind of go a little bit smaller, see how they pack an 11,000 person venue out, and then they may gauge accordingly next year. And if they decide to go to a little bit bigger venue, or they may have it at the Mandalay Bay, this may be the permanent home for the 10X Growth Con. Who knows? Okay. But yeah, if you're on the fence, I would say if you can make the financial investment to go. It looks at this point you can only really get tickets for $2,500, not counting your flights, and maybe even not counting the hotel, depending on when you book. Why should you go to the Growth Con? I'll tell you. If you are interested in meeting people who are like-minded like you. They're going to be there. If you're interested in networking, they're going to be there. This is going to be a great event for prospecting. This is going to be a great event for increasing your network and getting around people who think like you do. A lot of you are, you've got friends, you've got family who don't understand why you're going to this. They don't want you to grow. They don't want you to scale. They like you just the way that you are. Some of you are even being criticized for working as much as you do because you're working on your dreams. You're trying to get your goals out there, and you have people in your life who are holding you back. There are not going to be any people here at Growth Con who are interested in holding you back. No one. Everyone is going to want to push you to be the best version of yourself. And I think anytime that you're trying to build something great, something massive, something huge, something that has the ability to change legacy or change your family tree and create a legacy, you've got to be around those people. Okay? You've got to be around those people. Speakers, Ryan Dice, Pete Vargas. I really wasn't a huge fan of Pete Vargas. I do not know who this gentleman is. We got Magic Johnson, Grant Cardone, Kevin Hart, Scooter Braun, Elena Cardone, Snoop. Is this Brad Pascal? I think that's Brad Pascal. This is Brandon. I forget his last name, but he's basically Grant's partner, co-founder in Cardone Ventures. And I forget this gentleman's name. So the panel looks to be a little bit different than last year. A little bit more stoic, a little bit more somber. Let's see if we can actually get the names of the speakers. Yeah, this is Brad Pascal's Financial Guru. I've seen this guy before. I just don't know where. Yeah, it's Brad Pascal. Yeah, that guy, John. I'm not even going to try and butcher his last name, but hey, some financial guru. So if you're interested in going, if you're interested in getting the live stream, look up some of these guys. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to see like, okay, why is Brad Pascal the man to listen to when it comes to advertising? We know what Magic Johnson did. We know the investment he's made. You already know about Grant. Kevin Hart, little guy, comedian, came from nothing. He's basically built a global empire in a handful of years. And everywhere this man goes, people know his name. So obviously, record executive. Why do I want to listen to Scooter Braun talk about Justin Bieber? I don't know, but I'll look him up and see what he has done. Because truth be told, you may not sit down and listen to all these guys, right? You may only want to hear from, maybe you want to learn about public speaking. Okay, I'm going to go talk to Pete. I'm going to go listen to Pete Vargas. I know this young lady, she actually just had a book come out, Everything is Figureoutable, which is pretty cool. So if you're looking for a good read, I'd suggest to go check that out. Marie Forello, Elena Cardone. I really enjoyed her speech last year at 10X Growth Con 3. Basically what I got from it is don't give your partner a lot of crap. They're trying to build, they're trying to do things to put you guys in a better situation. Support. Play your role. Don't give them a hard time. Because if you're on the gas, the other person's on the brake, you guys are both going to break the damn car. Okay? Kevin Hart, Kevin Hart has been saturated as of late. He's everywhere. But I'd like to hear what he has to say about, his business, how he grew it out, what plans he has moving forward. Do I really want to hear Kevin Hart get on stage and tell jokes? Not really. I'm not going to say he's not funny, but he, it's not my cup of tea. Like, he's cool, but it's not like, I'm not like most people that think Kevin Hart is like ridiculously funny. Ryan Dice, I'll be interested to see what he has to bring to the table this year compared to what he had to say last year. Listen, I'm a huge fan of all things financial, so I'm going to look up John, see what, what he's talked about before in the past, and see what he may have to speak about at Growth Con 4. Rick Ross, huge fan of Rick Ross. I think the guy is a business mogul. Looks like everything he touches turns to gold. Snoop Dogg, man, this guy's a living legend. I think he's been nominated for 15, 16 Grammys. Last year at Growth Con 3, absolutely. It was a pleasure walking in to the stadium, hearing this guy's voice, and hearing him perform some of, my favorite songs that he's ever created. So Snoop is cool. Can't wait to hear from Rick Ross. And obviously Grant Cardone. So Past speakers, last year they had Steve Harvey, John Maxwell, Bethany Frankel. Her speech was pretty cool. Damon John kind of fell flat. I felt like he was a little dry, didn't really have a significant product to push. It just didn't sit well, didn't land well. Ty Lopez brought extreme amounts of value. Russell Bronson did not do so hot last year at Growth Con 3. Jesse Etzler actually went to lunch when this guy was on stage. I had no idea who he was. Sarah Blakely, she was A-okay. But yeah, Dougie Fresh was at the party last year. I walked in day 2, I think it was, and Little John. Day 3, Little John was on stage. I think day 2 was Snoop, so that was cool. I did not go to Growth Con 2, so I have no idea who any of these people are. I think this guy got on stage and started playing a violin, though. That's pretty cool. Inflow Rider was the entertainment in 2018. Oh, yeah, so if you get the VIP tickets, apparently there's going to be a party of sorts at Light Nightclub. That's going to be pretty cool. You're going to get an opportunity to go to a party. I don't know who's going to be performing there. And apparently there's some kind of special guests that may show up day 1, day 2, day 3. Nobody knows. Like, we have no idea. Bottom line to take away here, look at this. Executive, $14.97, $1,500. VIP, $2,500. Premier, $10,000. Diamond, $20,000 seat. My God, I need to get around and speak to some Diamond members because you guys obviously have the juice. If you've got the discretionary income to spend $20,000 on a seat to hear some speakers speak, I need to get in line and learn what you guys are learning. So again, guys, there's going to be people here who have spent $10,000 and $30,000 and $2,500 on a seat. You need to know what these guys know, okay? They obviously know something. You're going to get a chance to hang out with the speakers. If you are Premier, you're going to get a 3-night hotel stay. You're going to get the VIP party on Friday. And apparently if you've got Diamond, there's a secret party for you. They're going to take care of your hotel. You're going to get a chance to ask the speakers questions and get answers if you're Diamond. You're going to get exclusive club access. I have no idea what that is. Maybe that's the night party. I don't know. Partnership briefing. I'm guessing this is with Cardone Ventures. If your business is doing at least $2 million, they want to see what they can do to 10x it and take you to $20 million. Obviously, you're going to give up a certain percentage of your company, but I've seen the presentation on it, the perspectives. They look pretty solid. To me, it sounds like you'd be actually doing better going with Cardone Ventures versus going with private equity. Even though some might say Cardone Ventures is its own private equity of sorts, but if you haven't seen the perspectives on it, I'd highly suggest that you check it out. Wait a minute, these are missing something. I was taking a look at these. These actually came with access to Cardone U. So I'd call the office and I'd see if that's still something that they're offering. Yeah, man. Yeah. So if you want to make long-lasting friendships, if you want to make new business connections, if you want to develop a 10x money mindset, you want to walk away with wealth strategies, they really, 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 really need to deliver on this. They have to deliver on this. They have to deliver on the application that might possibly lead to more business connections, even though I know this is going to be more up to us, the attendees, in terms of networking. The 10x strategies, they really have to deliver on this. They have to. 10x your public brand. I'd like them to really go deep on this. I mean, they're probably going to say, do what I'm doing here. Develop your following on YouTube. Provide tremendous amounts of value across all social media platforms to develop an omnipresent kind of strategy. I get that. But the wealth strategies, they really, come on, man. Don't just gloss over it. They really got to come. They got to bring the heat with that. So it's in Las Vegas, February 21st, 22nd, and the 23rd. If you can get into town on the 20th and register, it'll probably make your life a lot easier. They're 90% sold out. It looks like the only seat that they have left is VIP. Only 21. I've heard 21. I've heard 8. I've heard 4. Who knows? If you are looking forward to the 10x4 Growth Con, or 10x Growth Con number 4, leave it in the comment section below. I want to see what you guys are excited to see, who you're excited to meet. I'm excited to meet all of you. If you see this space, pull me aside. I'd love to learn more about your business. Let's get a picture together And let's do everything that we can do to help each other out and really 10x our business, 10x our mindset, 10x our money, and create long-lasting, impactful relationships that can help us when everyone else around us just wants us to be the same. I'll see you guys in Vegas. Peace.